What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm in my room. Don't have my fancy camera today. No fancy edits, nothing crazy. Today's Sunday. It's 9:14 p.m. I gotta record this video, upload it. That way I can meet my one video a week quota, which kind of sucks because I'm not putting that much effort into it. But I guess consistency is consistency. Today's video is going to be a book review of a book that I've been reading. I've been reading this book for like 2 months, a month. It took me that long because I suck. I've been reading books off my phone, which is not really a good idea. I feel like having a physical book is much better because I could actually focus. Notifications pop up, I'm listening to music, I'm not really focused on what I'm reading, so it takes a little longer for me to get them done. But the book that I was reading, as you guys could see in the title, is called Siddhartha or Siddhartha. I've been saying Siddhartha, but like when I read the audiobook was saying Siddhartha. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Siddhartha, so we're gonna go with that one. We're gonna say it properly. I think I was saying that the book kind of gives me the same vibe as The Alchemist. Basically, somebody leaving home, leaving the comfort that they have, that they're used to, and going out into the world and looking for more. The book kind of starts off with Siddhartha, is the name of the main character. He was what's called a Brahmin, I believe. I hope I remember this correctly. And basically, the way he was raised, he came from a really well family. He was looked up to. People respected him. However, he was not content with the life that he had, and he just wanted to find his purpose, his meaning. So because of that, he had to leave home. I think that's part of it. And I guess throughout the whole journey, he learns a bunch of different other things. So I did take some notes, so we're going to go and talk about them. The first lesson that the book had taught me was that nobody can hand you truth. So Siddhartha, the main issue that he was having was that he was just tired of traditions being passed down to him, and he really wanted to figure things out on his own and just figure out life. So he tried many different things, many different places, many different people. But I'll say he, at one point when he first left home, he went to these monks, I guess, called samanas, and what they did was they practiced meditations, fasting, self-denial. He did that for a while, realized that he learned to suppress himself, but it really wasn't what he wanted. Eventually, he met this Buddha. Oh my God. He met this Buddha, or Buddha, however you say it, and he basically figured out that what he was looking for, nobody else could give it to him, and that he would have to live life and figure out what it is by himself. So yeah, it was basically, the first lesson was that no one can give you enlightenment, not your parents, not your religion, and not whoever you look up to. Many of the things that you have to figure out in life, you have to do that by yourself in order to get some clarity and to gain experience. He met a lot of wise people, but the one thing that he learned was that you could hear the advice, you could listen to someone tell you things. However, none of it really matters until you go out and you live your life on your own and you figure things out. The other lesson was that chasing pleasure won't satisfy you. There's a chapter in this book called Samsara. Basically, in that chapter, he left his disciplined lifestyle and he basically gave in to the pleasures of the world. Alcohol, women, gambling, chasing money, all that stuff. He did all that and he still did not feel satisfied whatsoever. And I guess that kind of relates to us today because we get all this pressure from social media to make more money, get a higher status in the world. And yeah, I guess I'm kind of guilty of it too. But hey, I don't care, man. I gotta get some money, bro. I gotta get some money. You know, obviously you don't want to be broke, but he just, I guess the lesson is to do everything in moderation. And I guess it just be aware that if happiness is what you want, that true happiness isn't going to come from materialistic items or pleasure. Alright? So, after his time with chasing pleasure, women, and money, he eventually realizes all the damage that he's done to himself. And eventually, he even tries to, like, you know. But luckily, he didn't. Otherwise, the book would have been cut short. But he did come to another realization. I think it was by a river. There was a flowing river. And he noticed how the river doesn't stop. The river just keeps moving. And that made him realize, or that helped him to stop forcing his life, because he was really still forcing himself to learn, forcing himself to grow. And he basically eventually realized that, okay, if I'm going to live life right now at the point that I am, I just have to let go and just let life be life. And at that point, he stopped chasing perfection, stopped chasing what success meant in his own mind, and he just lived. He just lived. And honestly, I feel like that part, despite the bad shit that happened right after, was probably the part of the book where he was most at peace, where he just accepted life for what it is and just lived every day. Next book I read, I'm gonna lock in for them. We're gonna have a way better video. I was not expecting this, and I could have had an actual video done, but work switched my schedule. So yeah, today was my only day off, and I decided to stay home and do other things that needed to be done, so I couldn't go out and record. But thanks for watching the video. If you watched it, I appreciate you. If you could, you know, I suck, but like, you know, leave a like or something, subscribe or some shit. You know, and I'm sorry again for the fucking bad quality. I promise I'm not trying to like oral farm with a bad quality camera. I'm just recording off my MacBook because it was right there, and I was too lazy to get up and get my camera and get the SD card and plug it in. It was too much. This would have been so quicker. But yeah. See ya.